If you want to get a job in tech at some of the biggest companies in Australia, watch this video. So you've probably heard people say, if you want to get a job in tech, you need a university degree, especially if you want to land a job at some of the biggest companies in Australia, like the banks or the big tech firms. Well, that's no longer true. If you're someone who's thinking about a career in tech, maybe cybersecurity, this is huge news for you. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why. Recently, some of the biggest businesses in Australia, if not the world, like Accenture, Salesforce, Microsoft, Amazon, LinkedIn, Commonwealth Bank, ANZ, and many more, have joined forces with the New South Wales government and some selected education providers like us here at Cyber Revolution to flip the traditional idea of having to go to university to get a tech job completely on its head. Cyber Revolution and these other companies have all signed what's called the 20% Alternative Pathways Pledge. And basically what that means is that by 2030, 1 in 5 entry-level digital hires will go to people who didn't go through the traditional university route. And for those skeptics who are going to jump in and say that this won't work, it already is, with some companies reporting 30% plus hires at an entry level coming through alternative pathways already. So I want to go through what this pledge is actually about, why the skill shortage has forced these big tech companies to rethink how they hire, what it means for career changes or people without a degree looking to get into cybersecurity, and most importantly, how you can take advantage of it right now. Let's start with the problem. Australia is staring down the barrel of a massive skills shortage in the digital space. Depending on which report you read, it can be anywhere between 85,000 and 186,000 new professionals by 2030. And here's the kicker. We're not going to solve that with university grads alone. Universities simply can't keep up with the demand, and not everyone wants to or can afford to spend 3 to 4 years of full-time study to land their first entry-level job. For those that might not be aware, this is the old way that big corporates used to hire entry-level talent. You'd have to have the relevant university degree to even apply. You'd then have to apply for a grad program, not full-time employment. You then might get in the grad program, and then they handpick the best grads, and the rest have to start again, which is pretty rough. But if you're in your early 20s, just starting out your professional career, it's not too bad. But it's just not an option for somebody who's in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And these big businesses now realize that there is a huge pool of untapped, talented, job-ready people out there that can help them grow. So the industry had to adapt, and this is where the pledge comes in. The 20% Alternative Pathways Pledge is simple on paper, but massive in impact. So what is an alternative pathway? We're talking about people coming through vocational training programs and doing industry certifications like CompTIA, AWS, Microsoft, and Cisco. They're learning with private training providers like us here at Cyber Revolution. And this project isn't just lip service or a feel-good story. Already 41 major organizations have signed up. Some partners have already smashed their target of 20% in their first year. So the idea that you need to get a degree to get in is quickly becoming a myth. Now, let's talk about why I think this project is so great. Firstly is the diversity. Traditional hiring methods tend to favor people who can afford to go to university at the time or who follow a very specific pathway. By opening the door to alternative pathways, we're giving opportunities to people who are just as talented but come from different backgrounds. Veterans, parents returning to the workforce, migrants, school leavers who don't just want to pay $50,000 worth of debt and study for 4 years. Second part of it is the speed to industry. With alternative pathways, you get job ready in 6 to 12 months, not 3 to 4 years. That means that we're plugging the skills gaps faster and getting motivated people into meaningful careers a lot quicker. Thirdly is the industry buy-in. These companies that have signed the pledge already aren't small. When Accenture says that 37% of our new recruits are now coming through non-degree pathways, that sends a very strong message to the entire sector. Skills matter more than degrees. And as someone that runs Cyber Revolution on a day-to-day basis, this is something that I see all of the time. Employees don't ask me, where did this person go to university? They ask me, can they do the job? Can they solve problems? And can they grow with us? So what does this mean if you're watching this video right now and you're considering a career in tech? It means you no longer have to sit on the sidelines thinking you've missed your chance because you didn't go to uni. It means that whether you're 18, 28, 48, or 58, there are still legitimate recognized pathways into companies like Microsoft, Accenture, AWS, and Combank. But this is important to mention. It doesn't mean it's easier. You still need to pick the right pathway, commit to the learning, and show that you've got the motivation to stick with it. Because here's the truth. Companies are not lowering the bar, they're simply opening a wider gate. The expectation that you're still capable, skilled, and ready to work hard is going to be there. So where do you go from here? Start by doing your own research. Look into the areas of tech that interest you. Could be cybersecurity, could be cloud, data, software. Explore alternative training providers and certification pathways. Talk to people who are already in the industry. Listen to podcasts, jump on webinars. LinkedIn is full of a bunch of stories. And if you want structured guidance, that's exactly what we do here at Cyber Revolution. We help people from all walks of life get into entry-level cybersecurity jobs. And we're now with employers who have signed the pledge, adding on the placement partners that we already had. So if this resonates, and if you're serious about a career in tech or cybersecurity without wanting to have to wait years to get a university degree, now is the perfect time to take that next step. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found this video helpful, please hit subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what questions you've got about the Alternative Pathways Pledge, and I'll be happy to answer them in future videos.